Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
Good evening and welcome to the Yas Marina Circuit for the season finale of PS4 Tier 1 on Apex Online Racing. And what a season it has been as we watch the new champion of this tier going out on track. And this 5.5 kilometer circuit, we've been racing here since 2009. Some famous title deciders in real life, especially 2010 and 2016, where the Rosberg-Hamilton rivalry reached its bitter conclusion. So we have 14 runners out here for tonight's race, and well, it has an end-of-season feel, of course, with both championships decided at last week's thrilling race at Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix. So here's a quick reminder of the championship standings. Michael winning the title with a 34-point gap. No one can catch him now. He is the new champion. But a great fight this season by Williams Jim Roy, aka Deagle Killer, who has put on a brilliant title battle himself, but not quite enough performances in the second half of the season to deny Michael the title. Then we got Lucas in third place, and making up the top five is two-time race winner Jan Opma, and last season's champion Synthetic will be looking to seal that fifth place spot, although by his very high standards quite a disappointing season. And then making up the top 10 we have the teammate of Williams Jim Roy, Williams Jim Tim, and then we have Ollie D, Flying Finn, Flores and Nardi making up the top 10. And then in the Constructors, well, the Constructors battle was also concluded last week with the Red Bull team coming out on top with only 43 maximum points for a top 2 finish available. They sealed the Constructors Championship last week at Interlagos with a 45-point advantage. So there's only real two battles of interest, minor interest you would say. The battle for third place between Mercedes and Haas, and then the Sauber team and Renault team battling to avoid the dreaded wooden spoon. Well, with neither Sauber being here this evening, Aresi, if you can get into the points, even 3 points would be enough to get Renault off the bottom where they have been for the majority of the season. So with the early part of qualifying going on at the moment, we're going to take a quick look at a lap of the Yas Marina Circuit here at Abu Dhabi.
With CRG Evo, the Xbox One Split 1 champion, as he takes us through a lap around the Yas Marina Circuit here in Abu Dhabi. Fourth gear for turn 1 for a flat out turn 2, and turn 3 approaches a very demanding right-hander, which you can easily misjudge with a Ferrari driver. No fault through there. Through turn 5 and turn 6 now, clipping the curves to absolute perfection before a sharp hairpin of turn 7. Down the first gear, just get the nose turned in. Now back on the power once again, down the first of 2 long DRS straights, where overtaking is certainly possible for all the drivers tonight with the use of DRS obviously and slipstream. 100 meter board is your marker for the sharp turn 8, and then the chicane of 9 follows, and then back on the gas once again for the second straight down towards the chicane of 11, 12 and 13. The 100 meter board is the marker once again as Ferrari brakes nicely and planted through there. 11, 12 and 13 running over the curbs very nicely indeed. The turn 14 don't want too wide an exit because an invalid lap time could await. Now through turn 15, flat out once again. In turn 16, a heavy braking zone for turn 17. The car 90 turned in. Now go underneath the hotel section for turn 18 and 19. Go very close to the wall. And in towards the final 2 corners as he closes out the lap. And with it, his qualifying session around the final corner. And that is a lap around the Yas Marina Circuit here in Abu Dhabi.
Wow, what a great circuit this is. Well, mixed views on it in terms of real life, but I personally believe, at least on the video games, that this is one of the best league racing circuits on the calendar. It's a great way of ending the season Can't believe how quickly this season has gone. Now, you may be wondering where Ali Kidd is tonight, the usual lead commentator for this particular tier. Well, he's taking a well-deserved break, having concluded his duties last week. So wherever you are, Ali, hope you're having a nice evening. I am Mark of GamingAlimonda, who will take you through all of tonight's action here at the Yas Marina Circuit. So we have some times on the board now. A 1:34.752, the early pace by Alex on the Supersoft tyres. We have 3 tyre compounds here for this final race of the season, which is the Supersoft, Hypersoft and Ultrasoft compounds. Now, the Hypersofts tend to burn up quite quickly around here, so in terms of those drivers in the top 5s, expect to see them doing some runs on the Ultrasofts at some point to set their representative lap times. With Synthetic second and Flying Finn in third. Only 3 drivers have set a time so far. Here comes Tim round the final corner. He's backing off big time, as you would suspect. I don't think anyone really wants to start on those Hypersofts, otherwise high probability is you won't be able to get the one stop done here. So in terms of the pit strategy, we'll go through that on the formation lap. But a one stop is the dominant strategy here. No threat of rain, of course. It will be dry running. The literal twilight of the season is upon us. We will go from twilight to a full night race by the end of tonight's race. So a warm welcome to everyone who's in the chat right now. I can see plenty of familiar and unfamiliar faces. Let us know what your favourite moments from the season have been, and what do you make of the new champion Michael? Do you believe he deserves it? Well, in my opinion, he certainly does. In terms of consistency, he was just a bit better than the rest. But we've had plenty of race winners in the tier this season. Some thrilling races. You know, Brazil really summed up how close the racing has been between the top drivers in this tier this season. So it's great to see the quality of the racing this season. And as far as I'm concerned, this has been the most thoroughly enjoyable season that I've ever commentated in terms of league racing on these games by Codemasters. So just going to roll up some stats for you, some final stats before we go into this final race of the season. Well, most wins this season, unsurprisingly, go to the champion, and that is Michael, who has 6, and then Lucas has 4, and Williams Jim Roy has 3. So unsurprisingly, the top 3 in the championship, the lion's share of the wins this season. With 13 wins between them, the top 3 have really been outstanding. But hey, perhaps Jarno Opma with 2 wins this season, and particularly, in my opinion, perhaps the most dominant win of the season at the USA Grand Prix. 2 wins to his name. Perhaps if he hadn't missed so many races, he could well have been an outside contender for the championship. Let's try and get on board with someone out on track and mode. Let's have a look then at Williams Jim Roy, who's gone for the Supersoft. So let's see what he can do on the lap. With just over 10 minutes of the session to go. Well, he'll be slightly disappointed to have missed out on the championship last week, but he did get the very commendable, runs really wide through the opening section there. And, well, he's aborted straight away. That's an instant invalidation there. So let's switch to someone else. It's Michael who carries on, who's in the middle part of the lap at the moment. Quite a long lap here. Best part of well over a minute and a half to get round here, which compared to Brazil is night and day in terms of distance. It's good to see Flying Finn back on the grid today after missing the last few races. The Belgian race winner, of course. Let's see what Michael can do on these Supersoft tyres. Heads for the line, and what's it going to be? It's a 1:34.190, and that is significantly faster than Alex's time. But Alex's time, don't believe, was representative. Oh no, he was on the Supersoft, so actually it was. So significantly quicker. Over half a second quicker than Alex's time. So a decent early banker from Michael there. Anyone else out there on the lap? What about Jarno, the French and US Grand Prix winners? If I can select him. There he is. So Jarno heading down to the first end of the first DRS zone, and then looking for the activation point. There you go, there's the line, and it'll build up. And he'll build up the speed then, all the way down to turn 11. Turn 7 to 11, the most important part of the track. We'll see most of the overtaking action taking place down these 2 particular straights. Expect to see a bit of 2 wide, maybe even 3 wide action going down there. And then the technical sector 3. almost impossible to overtake, although someone might go for a bit of a lunge down here just before the spectacular hotel, the Etihad Hotel, which hopefully won't cause the stream through blocks, but we will see. Now the next season for this particular tier, there's no actual date announced yet, but it's looking like, you know, somewhere late April at least or something like that. But keep an eye and follow the AOR Twitter as Yana sets a 1:54.062, just over a tenth of a second quicker than Michael's time on the Super Softs. Lucas on an outlap on the Super Softs as well. Aresti as well. What about Roy? Did Roy go for another lap? Looks like he did. No problems this time, didn't invalidate. We'll see what Roy can do. Flying Finn, starting lap, and Alex on the Hypersofts, a 1:33.100. So of course 2 steps above the Super Soft tyre, a lot quicker than Jarno's time. But I think secretly we'll be hoping he doesn't finish in the top 10 with that, because if he does, he could be in for a world of pain during the race, because those Hypersoft tyres do not last very long around here. And I will remind you, this is the pit strategy. It is a one-stop strategy. It's lap 7 to 10 on the Ultra Softs, and then starting on Super Softs, lap 16 to 18 you'll be pitting, and then to go on the Ultra Softs. So you'll notice there isn't any strategy for the Hypersofts suggested by race control. So that just shows you avoiding those Hypersofts is going to be the key thing at this particular track, as we see the spectacular Toro Rosso hurtling through the final sector. Flying Finn on the Hypersofts himself, actually looking to gain some time. 2.3 seconds off the pace on his initial lap. Maybe a few drivers will want at least the glory of pole position. No, Flying Finn falls into the pits. What about Curly? Curly on the Super Softs. Jarno carries on. Nope, Jarno back into the pits. So as you can see, most of the best times set on the Super Softs, but you know, these are not particularly quick times so far. Anyone out there? What about Lucas? Yeah, now let's keep an eye on Lucas and Aresti actually on the Ultra Soft. So Aresti's further down the road, so let's give the Renault driver a bit of air time, because this will be the first realistic Ultra Soft time. Because, you know, 10 seconds off the pace, clearly Nolan's time is not representative of any sort of Ultra Soft time. As Aresti looks to bring Renault off the wooden spoon position, where Renault are at the moment, as we talked about earlier on in the broadcast. Aresti rounds the final corner then. What's this going to be for Aresti? Is it going to be good enough to get off the back of the grid? And it's P2, so P2 for Aresti, so a decent lap on the Ultra Softs. Just over 6 cents behind the Hypesoft time of Alex, so he gets in the top 10 on that time. I think we're pretty pleased with that, and that was a 1:33.726. Lucas though up to P3. Now interestingly, the quickest driver on the Super Softs so far, significantly quicker than Jarno and Michael. 3 tenths quicker than Michael, 2 tenths quicker than Jarno. Well, Roy is having a bit of a shocker in qualifying so far, hasn't set a time, and is back in the garage at the moment, so problems down the Red Bull. Christian Horner looking a bit apprehensive on the pit ball right now, with both his cars in 11 and 13. But of course, no pressure on any of these drivers with all the championships decided last week at Interlagos. So the Red Bull team, well, it won't really matter if they finish out of the points today. But, you know, I think given that most of these drivers will be on the grid next season, I think there is value of laying down an early marker for the following season, you know, especially to give, you know, Michael and Red Bull something to think about for next season. You know, if it wasn't for his horrendous luck in the very late rounds of the season, Lucas could well have been in the title fight right to the death here, but unfortunately have that pit stop issue at Japan, then at the USA got taken out turn 1 by synthetic, so it was a real horror show for him. We came back to form last week at Brazil with a fantastic performance. So anyone else there on track? Well, Michael again is out there, this time on the Ultra Softs. So this is the critical lap then for Michael. On the Ultra Softs he goes. This is the time he's going to be setting because he will not have time to get back to the pits. Unless, of course, he invalidates this one. Oh, runs slightly wide. Very easy to do so. Turns 4 and 5. And there's, oh, look at the rear sliding through the first chicane, through the DRS detection zone just before turn 7. Slowest corner on the track, all the way down to first gear sometimes if you get a poor entry. And into the DRS activation point. And watch out for the marker boards on the right hand side. Pick your braking point and try and get it slowed down. And then get as tight in apex as possible. Don't take too much curb on the exit of turn 9. Otherwise, you know, you can really clump that and really lose momentum for the second DRS straight. It can be quite tactical, the overtaking, the way it works. Sometimes you don't want to overtake because otherwise you just get overtaken in the second one, especially if you're lacking straight line speed. It's quite a high downforce circuit, this one, but you want to get away with as the Mercedes gets out of the way. Looking like a decent lap from Michael here so far. Just a reminder, fastest ultra soft time is Aresi's 1:33.726. Well, it looks significantly faster than that so far, comparing the onboards. So here comes Michael then, heading for the line. Oh, runs quite wide though. He backs off. Oh, that was not good because Michael had to back off, but would he have lost some time in the final? Well, we're going to switch to someone else. Jarno, Lucas, Aresi on their outlaps. Anyone else out there? Well, Big C is out there at the moment. A former esports semi-finalist, of course. He's got a bit of a toe up ahead. Is that Flying Finn giving him a hand? No, that is not. So no hand being. We saw Red Bull, and wow, look at the speed that Big C is getting this toe from the Renault of Aresi, who's on his outlap, of course. So that was very useful for Big C. He's on the ultra softs as well. Let's see what tyres are on. Danny AMG retires on the session in P3. So a decent ultra soft time, faster than the likes of Lucas at the moment. They, of course, haven't set their times on the ultra softs. So, well, Michael may have invalidated on the final corner, possibly. We're not entirely sure. And what about Roy? What's Roy up to at the moment? Roy is entering the final sector. This looks like a time. Well, the car looks... He's in mode 0 though, so maybe this is an outlap actually for him. Yeah, they're all warming up their tyres as much as they can. The final qualifying laps of their season. This should be a thrilling conclusion. Quite a huge gap, but I think these positions are about to change rapidly. Because, well, Alex being on pole position, given his stints mostly in the midfield, it would be an almighty shock if that were to be the case. And Michael puts it in P2 on the ultra softs. So Michael may have lost a bit of time aborting that first lap, but he's the fastest ultra soft runner by far at the moment. There's some big guns going for it now. Ultra softs for Jarno as well, just behind Lucas. Where is Roy? Roy slightly further up the road. Yeah, so Roy, Lucas and Jarno, 3 of the top 4, very close to each other on track, setting their times as the checker flag comes out here at the Yas Marina Circuit. Whereas Tim is actually... Is Tim on? No, Tim is on the ultra softs as well. Is anyone actually on the hyper softs at the moment? Aresi is. Well, surely he's not going to try and steal it at the last second. A real glory run this would be, and he is on the hyper soft, so amazing scenes there. He will not finish the lap yet. Here comes Roy then. He will be the first of the trio of Roy, Lucas and Jarno to finish the lap here. The final laps of the season in AOR Tier 1 on PS4. So here comes Roy. Round the final corner he goes. And what's this going to be? What's it going to be for Roy? It's going to be P2 ahead of Michael. And Lucas takes pole. 1:32.978. What about Jarno? Jarno rounds the final corner. What's it going to be for Jarno? Jarno hits the corner. And Jarno goes up to P3. And Aresi didn't improve. Aresi backed off. Michael on his in lap. So that is your qualifying session. So Alex takes pole position by 0.20. It's a Ferrari on pole here at Yas Marina. What a result for him. I believe that's Alex's first pole of the season. I'm not entirely sure. Got the statistics in front of me. Let me just check. I do believe it is. Yes, his first pole position of the season for a driver whose average qualifying has been 12th this season. Of course, AI is controlling the cars now, but oh, he's on the Hypersofts though, so very interesting choice. But wow, what a blast from the past, having Alex on pole position here in AOR Tier 1 of PS4. Brilliant stuff. The Lucas, well, clearly the star qualifying. Well, his car's a broken mess. What on earth's happened to his AR controlled car? Was it Ericsson? I'm not sure. But that Haas is not looking very healthy. Not sure how that will affect his tyres. But Jarno in P3. And Williams Roy in 4th. Well, we're just waiting. We're waiting for Michael to return to the pits. It's all a bit messy with the AI at this stage. A very interesting qualifying session. I think if you told me that Alex was going to be on the front row of the grids, I would have definitely not agreed with you. But so here is your qualifying result for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in Apex Online Racing PS4 Season 16 Tier 1. Alex with pole position, his first of the season by 0.21. To Lucas in 2nd, Jarno in 3rd, Roy in 4th, Michael, the champion, the new champion of this tier, in 5th, Nolan in 6th for Mercedes, Aresi in an impressive 7th for Renault, Ollie D in 8th, Danny MG in 9th, Curly Whirly in 10th, and then making up the grid, Big C, Tim, a disappointing session for the other Red Bull drivers, and the now former champion Synthetic in P13, and Flying Finn on his return to the grid, struggling a bit in qualifying, will start P14. We'll be hoping for a bit more pace during the race. So we are going to get ready for... I'm only putting this banner up in case the Etihad logo blocks the stream, maybe. Hopefully not. And here we are, in the pit lane. No threat of rain, of course. The only track where, statistically, in terms of the game's coding, rain is impossible to happen. I think perhaps Bahrain, possibly another one. Although I did see another league where it glitched and it had heavy rain for the entire race. It was quite a hilarious scene, I have to admit, because no one was prepared for it. It was actually dry on the game, but it just glitched out and had rain from the start. I wish the stream for it was still... It's on Twitch somewhere. I'll probably share it, but you should just watch the opening few laps. But anyway, we're getting ready for the formation lap here at the Yas Marina Circuit, the final round of the season for PS4. And what an enjoyable season it has been. So many great races this season. And we can't forget NTG Freak. He played a part early on in the season, winning a race. And, you know, being one of the early title contenders, but then just left the league, unfortunately, to pursue other things. Here we are there. Alex leads the grid away. We got 2 Ferrari-powered cars on the front row, and then we got Jarno and the Red Bull Roy on 4th. Though Michael in 5th, so if Michael's going to win his 7th race of the season, he's going to have some work to do. In terms of the strategy, well, I will certainly put the reminder up for you that the one-stop looks the quickest strategy here. So that's bad news for Alex because he is starting on the tyre which is not suggested as the predicted pit stop strategy. But you never know of racing. So ultra soft tyres will last 7 to 10 laps before switching to the super softs for a long second stint. And then starting on the super softs, it will be a really long stint to laps 16 to 18 before switching to the ultra softs. And the ultra softs are an extremely quick tyre here in the final stint with low fuel. So let's see what those outside the top 10 have gone for. So Big C has gone for the ultra soft tyres to start the race, and then behind him we've got Tim on the super softs, Synthetic on the super softs, and finally Flying Finn on the super softs. So no one has dared gone for the hyper softs outside the top 10, which I believe is the correct thing. Now this track, with similar pace drivers, notorious for being very difficult to break the 1 second, so expect a lot of close racing action, at least until the pit stops between these drivers early on. So I don't expect anyone to run away with this early on if they keep the sort of similar pace and battles we've seen all throughout the season. And it's quite fitting that 4 of the top 5 this season are starting in the top 5 of the grid. So, you know, Alex on those hypersofts, he could get absolutely swamped at the start if he doesn't get a good start. But he will have the advantage of the best traction off the line if he gets the start right. As we one of the best camera shots on the track. Well, let's hope Alex doesn't get a nosebleed the same colour to Ferrari, because he's not used this season to starting so far up the grid. As they head for the penultimate corner, 21 corners of this 5.5 kilometre circuit. It's quite a short run, very short run from the grid to turn 1, 305 metres to be precise, as the grid forms up then for the last time this season in Apex Online Racing PS4 Tier 1. Well, if you enjoy this race, then certainly give us your predictions for the race winner and your driver of the day later on. So here we go then. 5 red lights, race control's happy. Lights out and away we go for the final time, and it's a good start from Alex trying to fend off. And look at Jarno getting an even better start than the top 2, but Lucas covers the inside and forces Jarno wide, and the top 5 is as you were. Looks like Ollie D's gained a place up to P7, getting past Danny MG behind. Will there be any movement? And look at that, Michael looking for a move round the outside of Roy, but not quite getting the move done. And look at that, Nolan getting forced wide, Danny MG furiously scrapping away. Let's see what's going on there. Well, there's a potential 3-wide situation developing. That's a terrible camera view, and so's that. Well, race control not helping me at all, as the top 5 stream down here. Look at this action behind. Danny MG going for a late move down the inside of Ollie D. Can he get it done? Oh, it's so tight. Tries to get the switchback, but light contacts on the back of the car. Let's go straight back to Lucas, because Lucas got a brilliant exit out of that second chicane, and he's going to go for a move down the inside. Oh, yeah, Alex covers it off nicely. Very good late braking by Alex to keep ahead to the top 5, still as you were. What's going on with synthetics? Something happened to Flying. Well, something's happened. Flying Finn is up to P9 already, so a brilliant start from Flying Finn. And Big C down to P14, so it's been up and down for the 2 Toro Rosso drivers consecutively, but top 6 already getting a significant gap from the rest. And look how close they are as we end the first lap here at the Yas Marina Circuit, 28 in total. Well, Alex, well, it's been a perfect first lap for him. He fended off Lucas's attempt to overtake, but those hypersofts are soon going to be wearing off. So Lucas just has to be maybe patient a little bit to get the move done. DRS will be activated at the start of the next lap, of course. He's right on board with Lucas. And so Alex actually getting a bit of a gap away. So this is a brilliant start from Alex so far. You just get the sense that the glory of getting that pole position may hurt him later. Look behind, Tim and Big C trying to battle for position here. And I didn't actually realise, but Nolan on the hypersofts as well, so that would explain his strong start. Can you get ahead of the new champion? That would certainly be a bit of bragging rights if you can get that. But no, not for the time being. Michael not under any threat whatsoever. They all cut that particular corner. The bollard has not been struck yet, so that's unusual. Usually that thing is destroyed on the first lap. So the top 3 very close, as is Michael and Roy, of course. Significant gap. Let's have a quick look behind, because Danny MG once again getting very close to the back of Ollie D. This has been a scrap from lap 1. Actually up ahead, just have a look at Nolan. Nolan thought was going to have a think about a move on Michael, but not for the time being. Danny MG still can't get past the Mercedes of Ollie D. So early days yet in this particular race, but we got some feisty looking battles coming out, and Nolan all over the rear of the new champion. So those hypersofts doing a good job for him at the moment, as Alex sets the fastest lap of the race. So Michael, I should say Alex, I should mean, not having problems with the hypersofts just yet, as he sets the fastest lap of the race. Michael clinging onto the back. Oh, goes really deep into 4, and now it could be under a little bit of trouble. DRS now activated, and this may change a bit of the pecking order. And Ollie D in particular, the only driver who's not in DRS range of anyone else except for Tim, who's pitted unfortunately for a replacement wing. Let's have a look at Lucas. Is Lucas getting close to Alex? Not for the time being. What about Nolan? No. So I think behind Danny MG could be getting very close to the back of that Mercedes in the battle for P7. Ollie D covers off the inside and comfortably defends the position. Once again, Nolan getting a good exit, but Michael's exit even better. And actually, up ahead, Jarno getting very close to Lucas and dives down the inside. But brilliant driving from Lucas to maintain a position through the third chicane. So the battle for the top three really hotting up here at Yas Marina. And Danny MG will go back to him quickly because Danny MG side by side through the fast left-hander. Ollie D will have the inside. Watch out for Flying Finn just behind. A big lock-up of the tyres from Ollie D. This scrap for P7, absolutely fantastic so far. Although that wasn't so fantastic, he just picked up the first time penalty of the race. Well, let's go to safety car. Tim started getting any points today. Look all but over that lap 1 incident, seemingly. Ollie D really struggling for race pace. Don't forget he's on the Ultra Sauce, which the majority of the top 10 are on. He can't get the drive down on the car. He's already 3.5 seconds behind his teammate in P6. So if you're getting caught behind Ollie D, clearly this is going to really hurt your race. We're going to switch gears and oh, and Aresi is out of the race. Oh, Aresi's had a huge off. Must have been the fast right-hander between turn 3 and 5. And that's his race done and dusted. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's have a look at the top 2. And now Lucas. This is the first time he's really looked close to the back of Alex since the DRS was activated. And I think those hypersonics are starting to burn off now. So we have 13 runners left from the 14 who started. And Alex covering the inside, but he's really struggling with traction now. He's going to defend the inside, goes really deep, but he should have the turn. Lucas trying to get past, but for the time being, Alex doing a commendable job actually. Keeping ahead, we'll go back to Danny MG, because once again, Ollie almost free wide into turn 14. And Danny MG finally gets past Ollie D. No, it doesn't look like Ollie D has any damage, so I'm not really sure why he's going so slowly at the moment. Unless it's sort of the kind of damage which isn't visible in terms of what we can see. Something's not right with that car. Maybe he's overfueled the car or something like that. He's down to P8. Let's go back to the battle for the lead, because look how close the top 6 is. This is absolutely incredible so far. And I really hope that the pit stops don't separate these guys out too much, because I want to see this action all the way to the end, and I'm sure you, the viewer, do as well. Lucas then, relentlessly chasing the fellow Ferrari-powered car ahead. This has to be the moment for him to get past Alex, because those Hypersofts can't be too healthy as we enter the 5th lap of this race. As Tim sets the fastest lap of the race on a fresh set of Ultras, but it's not going to do him any good down in P13. And here we go then, heading down towards turn 8. Lucas half-hearted move. I think he was just trying to... He's going to go round the outside. Who's going to get the DRS? Will it be Alex? I'm not sure. Alex may be about to get swamped. No, Alex will get the DRS, so he may be able to come back at Lucas and go for a move down to the inside. Lucas will cover it. Alex will go round the outside. Can he get done? Oh no, there's been contact. Contact between the two. Lucas made contact. Wasn't quite enough space given, and Alex drops to P6. We didn't get a great camera angle of it because of the spectator cam, but that was quite an incident. Jarno takes the lead of the race. Michael in second in all that. Roy is actually down to P4. So that's a real shame for Alex, but maybe he was fighting a bit too hard. Those tyres were going... Probably looks like he will make a pit stop. No damage for Lucas though, luckily, so he's not out of this yet. Will Alex make a pit stop? Yes, he does. Nolan though carries on. He's having a really good first stint here on these Hypersofts. Does Alex pits? Any damage for Alex? What's he going to go for? Yeah, a long... No, it's a set of Ultra Softs, so he's clearly going for a 2-stop. As we have a look at Michael, the new champion. Again, the back end complaining a little bit to go through that first chicane. Michael putting the power down, trying to pursue Jarno. Jarno looking for his 3rd win of the season. Michael is 7th and Lucas is 5th. DRS opens, but Michael not getting particularly close to Jarno, at least not yet. Let's get the telemetry on so we can get an idea of what battery they're using. Fair amount of battery. Not the best exit though, and that wasn't a good exit either. Now Roy is going to surely take P3. Maybe Lucas does have some damage, but it was a poor exit nonetheless. And watch out for Nolan to try and make his way through as well. Oh my goodness, how close was that? So Lucas down to P4. Interesting to see where Alex ends up. He will get a significant undercut, but he will have to stop again. He won't get to the ultra-softs on the end. He will simply not go to the end of the race from where Alex is right now. He will retake the lead at some point. He's got plenty travelling ahead. In space, I'd say, as Nolan pits. The last of the Hype runners pits early on. He did a good stint, to be fair to him. He's managed 6 laps on those. So what's he going to go for? Maybe, no, he's gone for the ultra softs as well. So some gaps developing. Jarno, Michael just getting a little bit away from Roy and Lucas. Can't Michael do anything about Jarno? Jarno's looked really good on the traction now, this hairpin so far. And once again, look at the significant speed difference Jarno had out of that corner. It's made Michael's task really difficult. Similar battery levels, so no one's really got a big advantage in that. It's only the DRS that'll make a difference, but you know, Michael's got to get close enough to get into that slipstream to really make the power difference. Oh, a snap of oversteer from Jarno as he went onto the curbs, but didn't hurt him too much. Can Michael get close to him? What about behind? Not sure. Roy and Lucas, no, they're not too close either. So yeah, as you were, let's go down to Danny MG. Has Ollie D got any closer? No, so the battle between 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th pretty close as well. What about Big C? No, Big C not able to make any sort of move. And actually, Nolan's actually managed the overcut on that. Oh, well, of course, Alex did have that incident, so we forget that. So it could be a decent battle here, P11, which will be a higher position when these guys pit. So they don't lose too much time fighting each other. Nolan picks up a time penalty. And Tim does as well. Well, it's been a race to forget for Tim so far, down in P13. So after that frantic start, bit of a lull period at the moment. It's just a reminder of who's stopped so far. Now let's have a look at who the winners and losers are for this race so far. 5 places gained for Synthetic. And then Danny MG gaining 4, 3 for Michael, 2 for Jarno. But of course, some drivers have pitted. So we'll get the full picture of that later on. Only 3 pit stops so far. So the entirety of the top 10 currently running and yet to stop. Let's get the tyres back up there. Michael a little bit closer this time in the DRS. How close can he get? Now he may think about this tactically. Doesn't want to get too close to Jarno. Oh, I say that, it's nearly on this gearbox because sometimes that can ruin your exit of the second corner when you're too close. Stick on board with this. Michael definitely closer this time. Let's have a quick look at Flying Fins. Flying Fins very close. Oh, 3 wide, here we go. Synthetic. They're going to fly into this corner here. Oh, 3 wide, look at that. They're still 3 wide for the next one. Oh, there's contact. Flying Fins off. Oh, Synthetic taken with him. Has Flying Fin got damaged? No. Once again, an incident at that corner. We saw that between Lucas and Alex early on, and that's going to spoil their race a bit, especially for those 2 super soft runners who've got quite a few laps left to go on those tyres before they pit for the ultra softs. That's not going to help their cause at all. So here we go then, the top 2 entering the final corner. Well, 3 definitely don't go into the 3rd chicane on this track, so you know, one of them had to back off, another of them did, and the big winner of that particular scrap was Ollie D. Ollie D's now got Big C for company just behind him, less than a second, so he makes this match between them. Now Michael, well, the ultra softs are starting to wear from Michael, really starting to look on the pace now in this battle for the lead as Alex sets the fast lap race at 1:37.597. Looking at this race as a whole, one stop looks to be in charge at the moment, but we don't know what the 2 stops like, which will be Hype of ultra, and here comes Michael. Jarno, you notice, not fighting it, so he's thinking about the second DRS zone. Now, the exit for Jarno is going to be crucial. He's got to get a really good exit, try and get right onto the back of that McLaren. So we go onto Yes, right. 9 laps gone of this particular race. Now Jarno getting all the overspeed in the DRS. Michael covering the inside. Oh, he's opened the door though. Jarno's going to come back. Switching back there, and Jarno retakes the lead. And that was a great example of tactical driving from Jarno there. He didn't fight the first DRS overtake, and Michael will learn from that, and he will consider a different approach for the next lap, I'm sure. Let's just go back down the order a little bit. Synthetic very close to the back of Curly Whirly. Not quite close enough. Now that battle between Michael and Jarno has actually closed the field back up, because Roy and Lucas are now back within a second of these two. It just goes to show when you're going, and here comes Michael then. Michael looking for a bit of an undercut on Jarno. But where's he going to end up? It's going to be interesting, because Alex has been setting some very fast laps despite losing a couple of seconds in that incident early on. So will that play into the hands? Nolan picks up yet another time penalty. He's really struggling though. So onto the super softs goes Michael. And where's Alex? Alex is crossing the start finish line now. So I think Alex, this could be very close. Yeah, I think Alex will be ahead. It's going to be very close indeed between these two. Yeah, Alex gets ahead. Alex on the ultra softs. But Michael getting caught behind a faster car like this for the time being may hurt him. So Roy now right onto the back of Jarno, and I suspect the top three will be thinking about pit stop at the end of this lap to cover off Michael. If Michael gets caught behind Alex, that could really be significant for the result of this race. So will Michael think about moves to the inside? No, he's going to wait. Wait for the next one. How much is Alex going to defend this? We're about to find out. Crucial moment then for the race. Michael's got to get this move done right now. Getting the tyres up to speed. Alex won't fight it. Michael dies down, and there's another fight going on between Synthetic and Curly. Let's have a quick look at the front. What are the front runners going to do? They're just approaching the final couple of corners here. Will any of the top three pits? We're on board with Lucas at the moment. Jarno pits, Lucas does as well. So Roy's going to carry on. Perhaps trying to get slightly fresher tyres at the end of the race as Flying Finn picks up a 3-second time penalty. So Roy, your race lead at the moment. So Michael heading through the final set of corners, and I think we just saw another car pit into pits, and that was Curly Whirly. Where are they? Are they coming out now? Jarno's coming out, but I think Michael's going to jump them both. Yeah, Michael's going to jump them both by a significant margin by the looks of it. And significantly as well, Jarno's also stuck behind Alex. Oh, and goes mega wide. Bumper over the curves. So Jarno, well, that's a difficult moment for Jarno. And perhaps when he looks back at the stream, he would have hoped that Alex would have just held him up a bit more, but couldn't quite do it. So that extra lap that he didn't work, as Michael got it done with the undercut. And meanwhile, up ahead, Synthetic and Flying Finn continue their raging battle. We've seen them collide with each other earlier on in the race. Well, Synthetic, this is his last race as the reigning champion of this particular tier, and he'll be looking to get a decent result, perhaps a great one to sign off for looking ahead to next season. Nolan has rapidly caught these two, and he's actually your net leader at the moment, but he is on a very different strategy, so he will be pitting. So in terms of the one-stoppers, Michael is your race leader at the moment. Michael's now caught this queue of cars. Now, this may allow, Jarno has actually got ahead of Alex already, so this may allow Jarno to get back into the fight. And he'll be hoping Michael's held up long enough to get back into DRS range of the new champion. Nolan, nightmare situation for him. He's got the reigning champion right behind him. Michael sets a fast lap of the race and will, yes, he's going to go for it. Well, nothing on the line now. And that's a spectacular overtake from Michael, catching Nolan on his heels. Job done already, and now Michael getting stuck behind, well, new champion and reigning champion in the same shot. Jarno is right there. This is going to get feisty very fast indeed. Oh, and a big thump of the rear tyre by Nolan. That wasn't particularly clever. Synthetic got a bit of a speed boost almost off that. And this is going to be free wide surely as they enter turn 8. Watch out for Nolan's going to go down. Jarno's surely not going to go for a lunge down the inside. I thought he was going to try and take them all in one go, but Jarno actually gets past Synthetic with a very smart overtake. Now Flying Finn just ahead. This is a thrilling moment of the race at the moment. Jarno right behind him. Jarno's going to try and go round the outside of Nolan. Just got to be careful. So Michael trying to retake the lead of the race. He's got Flying Finn ahead of him. The Super Soft runners not doing particularly well at the moment. They're going to be well down the order. Just haven't had the pace on these tyres. But they will have the quicker tyre later on, so they may come back into it. It may be too much time for them to overcome. Now Lucas and Roy, we haven't talked about them in the last few laps, but they are now making their way back to this group. They're on the Super Soft as well, so they're going for the one-stop strategy as well. Flying Finn running very wide. Oh, Michael going for a lunge at the last corner. You don't see overtakes there normally, and Michael does it. What a champion's overtake there. I think Flying Finn did not expect that, and now he's going to get swamped here, I think. Nolan will get past as well. And soon there will be a big battle going on for P5 with Lucas right behind Alex. So Michael's your new race leader here at Abu Dhabi. Nolan in P2, Jarno in 3rd, Flying Finn in 4th, Synthetic in 5th, Alex in 6th, Lucas in 7th, Roy in 8th, Danny MG in 9th, and Ollie D making up the top 10. So your next movement is going to be Jarno going for a move on Nolan. Those Ultra Softs would have taken such a pounding in the past couple laps. We look behind and we see this Lucas trying to overtake Alex as well. Jarno dives down the inside of Nolan and gets the move done. But now he's probably going to have to defend from Nolan through the second DRS zone, and that will all allow Michael to scamper away. Jarno doesn't have much straight line speed. Here comes Nolan trying to retake second place. But Jarno goes late on the brakes. It's very good late braking from Jarno. Lucas fighting. Look at the Red Bull, Roy as well diving down the inside of Alex. Well, the pole sitter, cream is in the pudding here. Starting on the Hype Softs gave him pole position, but in terms of the ultimate race strategy, he'll have to pit again. He's in P8, and he will have too much time to make up unless there's a late safety car, of course. So Jarno is within a second of Michael. He's got to keep up this pace, otherwise Michael will run away with this. Yes, he is. He's looking slightly quicker at the moment. So now we'll go down to Flying Finn, who's now got a little queue of cars behind him. Synthetic, Lucas and Roy and Alex. And oh, Synthetic made a massive mistake from the opening corners clearly. Oh, and look at that. Whoa, Roy getting forced wide. Then he flew into the air, Mark Webber style, but gets it slowed down. Up to P6, that's about as daring an overtake as you can get, even if slightly questionable that he was off the road. But we'll go up to Lucas, because Lucas now challenging Flying Finn for P4. And up ahead, Jarno's now within half a second, Michael. And Tim retires from the race, your second retirement. Well, he was well off and he's probably had enough. Oh, and look at that, Flying Finn spins. Oh, and rejoins and gets twonked by Alex. Oh no, and Alex has got damage as well. Oh, that was a pretty unsafe re-entry to the track, unfortunately. Jarno is now right on the back of Michael. There's so much action going on, it's hard to keep up. Well, Alex has definitely got some damage. I think it's Alex who hit him. Maybe not, maybe it was Synthetic. I'm sure it was a Ferrari. But Flying Finn, well, those Super Softs just lit up the rears a little bit too much, but we're going to go straight back to the top 2. Michael is not going to run away with this. Jarno wants his 3rd win of the season. His yellow and black helmet. He's only got one target on his mind, and that's the orange McLaren right ahead. 1.7 gap now to Nolan, who's beginning to tail off on those Ultra Softs. Let's have a look at Synthetic. No, actually, I'm going to stick with this. I think Synthetic's pitting, maybe for a wing change. But actually, it's probably for the Ultra Softs. Got quite a few laps on those Super Softs by now. What a race it's been so far. It's going to be hard to call it drive of the day, but it's looking like it's going to be one of these two at the moment. So here we go then. Jarno. And Michael weaves on the main straight, but perfectly safe. So, I wonder if Lucas has got close. Ooh, Lucas having a little look at Nolan. A little bit optimistic from there. Jarno biding his time for the time being. It's getting closer. I don't think it's going to be close enough. So we're going to switch to Lucas, because Lucas is looking very close to Nolan. He's going to dive to the inside and go up to P3. Something's happened to Roy. I wonder if Roy was the one who got damaged, because he's dropped 3.6 seconds behind Nolan. So the championship runner-up having the best of times at the moment. Jarno right on the back of Michael. So we're going to get quiet, but this is going to be a long stint on these super softs. So they're going to have to tire manage a little bit, otherwise they will lose the best performance of it by the end. So your top 10: Michael, Jarno, Lucas, Nolan, Roy, Ollie D, and Alex Pitts. Just want to have a look at Alex quickly. I just want to see if he is getting a wing replaced. No, he doesn't look like he is. So maybe he didn't get damaged. There was definitely some carbon fibre flying off when maybe Flying Finn was the one who got the damage. Maybe his wing was struck. That's probably the logical explanation, because he is now last by 5.6 seconds. So Alex, the pole sitter, should come out ahead of Synthetic, perhaps. Oh, don't tell me he's got stuck in pit lane. No, he's on the super softs. He doesn't have any ultra softs left. So if he'd had a spare set, he could have been really quick towards the end of the race, but Synthetic will be on his heels pretty quickly as Aresi leaves the session. So lap 16 then, 13 to go. Well, just under 13 laps to go of the AOR Tier 1 season on PS4. What a season it's been. Michael is the champion, but Jarno has been no slouch himself at times this season, winning races in France and at the Circuit of the Americas. Missed a few too many races to be a realistic title challenger. Now further down the order, Big C and Curly Whirly getting quite close to each other. Now in terms of the leaders, well, I mean, it's in the top 9, only 17 seconds separates the top 9, which is a pretty close spread for the top 9. It's much closer than it was last week at Brazil. And Nolan Pitts, so first of the two stoppers without problems or damage to come in. That will be, what's it going to be? Is it going to be a set for super softs? It is. Well, that's no hypersofts. No, sorry. I'm looking at Ollie D there. I didn't actually notice Ollie D was on the hypersofts. Well, that's a interesting strategy to say the least. Jarno trying to get close to Michael. Straight line speed looks fairly even. Jarno gaining slightly with the DRS. Entering a bit of a lull in the race, but in terms of major battles, we could be about to get it relit here. Michael's covering the inside. Jarno may have to think about a do or dive move at some point. Doesn't have to yet though. Wants to get a little bit closer just to make the move sure. He's got plenty of laps to go, and he's going to have slightly better tyres at the end of this race. As Ollie D overtakes Roy on those hypersofts, but that will hurt him later on. But Ollie D on the pace, on the best tyre at the moment, but those hypersofts will be going off really shortly. Let's have a quick look at Curly, who's right behind Big C in the battle for P7. Nolan's ended up 8 seconds behind, so clearly the two-stop is not the strategy to be on here. I think that's been made pretty clear by the events of this race. At least in terms of, you know, getting the race win. Battle for the top two. It's really heating up here at the Yas Marina Circuit as darkness begins to fall across the circuit. Flying Finn picks up another time penalty. Don't believe either of the top two have penalties yet. Getting on the power is so important for Jarno. He's significantly closer this time. Don't think he's going to go for the move on this DRS straight. Michael switches from left back to the right. Jarno's definitely close this time, but this is the crucial moment. He's got to get on the power better than Michael. At didn't quite get up through the gears as he would have liked. So I think it's going to be a similar story as it was the previous lap. Don't think it's going to be close enough to make a move. Let's have a look at Roy though. Roy very close to the back of Ollie D, whose hypersofts are beginning to fade. Will Roy go for a move to the inside? No, he will not. What about Curly Whirly? Is Curly Whirly getting close to the big C? No, not close. So a bit of a stalemate in these three particular battles at the moment. Jarno maybe running a bit more wing because he's able to follow Michael very closely through the slow sections of Sector 3. But then isn't able to pass. And all the while, Lucas is slowly creeping up into the back. Oh, Jarno picks up a 3-second time penalty. So that's not going to help his cause. But that may enrage him enough to be a bit more bolder. There's no more races after this. You know, they can wreck these engines, they can wreck these tyres. They're not going to be used again this season. So at some point he's got to go for it. He's got nothing to lose. The DRS activation point here, detection I should say. Jarno again, once again, gets very close on this particular DRS straight, but then isn't able to take full advantage. So maybe you have to think about a move now. This is about as close as he's been. Getting closer, getting closer. Michael hasn't defended the place yet. And according to IRT Shadow, Michael has a penalty as well. So that's good news in terms of the race as a contest. And this is about as close as Jarno's been in the last few laps. And again, it's just sort of leveling out. He's not got full power, so he's trying to save battery and launch a bigger assault later on in the race. Maybe that's his strategy. What about Roy? Roy very close behind, not quite close enough though. Lucas has dropped a few tenths this lap, so he's not getting any closer to the top two. Tantalizingly close to the top two. You can see them up ahead, but you'll be hoping they get slowed down a little bit more. But what seems to be clear to us and to myself is that Jarno is the quickest driver at the moment in this battle, because Michael cannot shake him off no matter what he does. Jarno's there like an absolute pest. Ooh, snap of ropes here as it goes on the power in the final corner. Now Lucas had a brilliant Sector 3, just took half a second of the top two, so he may yet be a factor in this race. And Ollie D, well, Roy, best he can hope for at the moment is P4. He should get past Ollie D soon because he'll be pitting off the hypersofts very shortly. He's not going to get those to the end. At least not with optimum performance. Even a puncher is not out of the question. But Jarno getting the best power there. Still in the DRS activation zone though, so he should be able to close back in on it. It's not been a particularly good lap from Jarno so far. It's not as close as he has been. Let's have a look at Roy though. Roy's very close to the back of Ollie D, who's really struggling for rear tyre grip now. Not particularly good exit from Roy, and that may give Ollie D half a chance just to get away. As they hurtle down to turn 11 at the end of Sector 2, Roy dives to the inside, goes slightly deep, but no, manages to get the place as Ollie D just didn't have the tyres left to fight it. Well, Ollie D's dropped like a stone from the back of the Red Bull already. And I suspect he'll be pitting lap 20 then. This race is hurtling by at a rate of knots, ladies and gentlemen. But the battle for the lead still not settled. Now, I'd love to check if Lucas has a time penalty himself, because if he doesn't, he can save in 3 seconds. He may yet take the victory here, because we know that Jarno and Michael has a penalty. As Ollie D pits. He'll be coming out probably around where synthetic flying fin is, but he will be by far the quickest driver on the track. And he has those. Let's see where he comes out actually. We could get a bit of an overtaking show from him later. Ryan Bill picks up another penalty. Nolan's just gone by. Alex is passing him as well, so actually may not be as low as we thought he would be. Now Jarno back on the pace on this lap. He's getting closer to Michael. The laps are ticking down. Building up the battery, but you know, sooner or later he's going to have to go for it. He is draining Michael's battery. It's quite tactical at the moment. doesn't win the race because they both have the same amount of penalties, so it can't be settled on penalties as it stands. So he's going to have to overtake him at some point. And Lucas is tantalisingly close to these two, just can't quite get to the back of them. Lucas has the same tyre life as Jarno, likewise 1 lap more. Little puff of white smoke from rear right as Michael locks the brakes slightly, going into turn 17 and runs wide to the painted lines off the track. It's a sign that Michael's starting to struggle a little bit on his tyres. He just hasn't been able to shake them. I said earlier on in the broadcast, this track is so difficult with two similarly paced drivers to shake off the other one in terms of DRS, even more so on F1 2018 with the battery modes you've got available. Hurtle through turns 3 and 4. Certainly one of my favourite corners on the calendar. You go full flat out, it's quite a thrill. Through turn 7, slowest corner on the track. Lucas now within 1.6 seconds as Ollie D picks up a time penalty. Expect the fastest lap to light up very shortly as he completes the lap. He'll be on mega quick tyres right now in the closing stages. So in terms of the strategy, well, we've had 3 drivers do the two-stop, not including Tim. He's retired from the race. Once again, not quite close enough. Speaking of close, this looks pretty close. Battle for P6 between Big C and Curly. So can the Ferrari get ahead of the Toro Rosso? Again, not quite close enough. It's a bit of a holding pattern at the moment. Drivers are sort of following each other. Oh, Lucas picks up a time penalty, his first of the race, so they're all honours even now on the penalty front. Lucas will be kicking himself if he finds out after the race that the other 2 drivers only had 1 penalty himself. Roy picks up a penalty as well. So the top 4 beginning to struggle for tyre grip clearly because they're starting to make a few mistakes. Let's go back to the front then. Closing stages then, this AOR PS4 Tier 1 season. At 23 here, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at the Yas Marina Circuit. New champion Michael leading this race and has done for a significant amount of time. He's been battling Jarno Otmar for a long time as well. Jarno was ahead of Michael early on in the race, but an undercut by Michael early on got him ahead of Jarno. Is the story of the battle for the lead. In case you weren't here earlier, it was Alex who took a sensational first pole position, rolled it back for years. It's now sadly 2010. Had some incidents with Lucas earlier on in the race. Took a two-stop strategy. Back to Big C. Back to Nolan. Under attack from Ollie D. Super Sauce versus Hyper Sauce. This will be a bit of a no contest. It's more likely we're going to get an overtake here. So the 2 Mercedes going into battle. Circa 2016, Rosberg versus Hamilton. Ollie D, well, his teammate's not going to hold him up there. There is still a chance for Ollie D in the closing laps to get P6 because these Hypersoft tyres in the right hands can be 2 seconds a lap faster than the Super Softs. So Gurley, Whirly and Big C, they're busy battling each other, but they may be about to reach their back very quickly as this rapid Mercedes closes in on them. Back to the front then, lap 24, just under 5 to go. Jarno heading through the chicane's got plenty of battery now, much more than Michael. So at some point, Jarno's got to go for it. He's got to launch all out assault on Michael. He's gone up to mode 5, so this could be the sign he is starting to launch his attack. Michael's going to run out of battery even before we get to the second chicane almost. It's all about the exit now. Michael getting on the power very well. It's not going to be close enough, I don't think. Ollie D's already doing 1.3 seconds of P7. Michael the traction he's doing out of that second chicane has been the difference maker. And Curly Whirly now realises Ollie D's there, so he knows he's got to try and get the move done now, and that's why he's gone full out attack. Maybe he should have done this a few laps ago. Not going to get the move done, and Ollie D's going to get ever closer. Let's have a look at Synthetic. Synthetic didn't bring us. Oh, Lucas picks up another time penalty, so that may take him off the podium now. Getting very close to the back. Free wide situation between these could be coming up very shortly. Jarno continues his pursuit of Michael in the battle for the lead here. Lucas within 1.6 seconds now of the top two, but isn't quite able to match the pace of the top two to get close enough. He's got to hope these two go side by side at least once, give him half a chance. Back to Ollie D, because Ollie D is right on the back, and he may be able to get some moves done here. He's going to have so much more grip. Curly goes to the inside, then back to the outside, then back to the inside again, and defends it nicely. Surely these two drivers are not going to have a prayer of defending this if they don't get the rest of it. Oh, Ollie D looking for a move to the inside. Gap just over 6 tenths between Jarno and Michael, so I don't think they're going to be close enough for a battle. Curly Whirly is going to try get the overtake done. Big C could be about to get swamped. Curly Whirly goes to the inside. He's going to go for a move to the inside. Ollie D then. Look how much more grip he's got. Able to take the outside, then the inside line. And now can he get 2 overtakes done in one? Who's going to get the slipstream? Actually, the slipstream will belong to Curly in terms of Big C. Curly will go late on the brakes, try to stop Ollie, but Ollie's just got too much grip, up to P7 he goes. So a quick look at Synthetic, no. Oh, Michael picks up another penalty up. And that means Jarno at the moment is on course to win this race. Whether Jarno knows that, someone in the chat earlier said Michael's got 6 seconds, including what we just saw, so dramatic scenes here. Oh, and look at that, Michael going mega wide. That's surely a moment of frustration for him. Ollie D pursues Big C in the battle for P7, and Nolan is right there as well, who has much less wear on his super softs. But I've got to switch back to Jarno, because Jarno is really close now. Michael has struggled on battery in the second stint. Jarno's played this perfectly, tactically. Jarno's going to go for a move down the inside. Jarno to the inside, the Force India, almost contact, but perfect spacing from both. Michael goes deep on the second part of the corner, and now Jarno's going to have a great shot, and he will have DRS, but he's going to be forced to the outside. Can Jarno take the lead of this race? Just under 3 to go. And Jarno takes the lead, round the outside he goes, DRS assisted. Lucas is closing in on them now. It's a brilliant conclusion to the season. Ollie D has got ahead of Big C in the battle for P7. And Nolan, Lucas has picked up another time penalty. It's an uncharacteristically sloppy race from the Haas driver to end this season. Perhaps these drivers didn't practice as much as they normally would, given that there was nothing up for grabs in tonight's race here. There's yellows in sector 3. Not sure what's going on there. Nolan's had an off. Nolan's had it off and has dropped out of the points, so bad luck for him. Come on to a lap here then at Yas Marina. What a race we've had here. Has Michael got anything to answer Jarno's speed at the moment? He's got his tyres on, it's fresh. Wrenching the rear of the car just to get it through turns 3 and 4. Still in DRS range. Lucas is as well though. Those time penalties. It's fitting that 2 of the top 3. What a shame Roy couldn't be involved in this, but he may yet. Well, let us know in the chat who your driver of the day is. Several candidates. I think Jarno's slightly edging it at the moment. Michael has this lap and one more to try and retake the lead of this race, but with those penalties he's up against it, and he didn't seem to have the traction there. Jarno getting away. Sector 3 will be crucial for Jarno. Jarno can just even get almost a second ahead of Michael, that could be the race-winning moment. So with the synthetic well down from the leaders. It's a battle between Curly and Big C still carries on. They've been well overtaken by Ollie D. They're still going to fight. Big C not covering the inside. One Ferrari on the attack and the other one under attack. Alex defending the place beautifully to maintain that P9 position. The final lap is about to begin here. And Michael almost dropping out of DRS range, but not quite. He could be more under threat from Lucas, if anything. He has dropped out of DRS range. He's really struggling for traction now. Can he get back into DRS range before the detection point, which is just after the first chicane? He's going to go late on the brakes, but Jarno has got one hand on the third win of the season. Perhaps laying a marker for next season by beating the champion. Michael's out of DRS range and he's going to be very vulnerable. Once again under attack from another car, this time Lucas, but Jarno is running away with it and looking set to win the final race of the season. Will Lucas go for it? Yes, he's going to go for it. Oh, late move. Again, beautiful spacing from both drivers. And here comes Roy getting in on the act at the last minute. Can Roy steal a podium? Well, it's how fitting that the top four in the championship in one shot. Oh, a slight contact between the two. Roy's going to go down the inside. Free wide into that corner. Roy picks up another penalty. Well, Jarno's going to win this by nearly 3 seconds at this rate, the way they're fighting. Let's carry on with this. That's a terrible camera view again. I do apologise. And down the inside goes Lucas, trying to put one on the champion. Will he have the traction around the outside? Yes, he will. What an overtake, Lucas. Jarno will head for the corner. Can Michael come back at him front corner? I'm not sure what happened there, but Jarno will cross the line and win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And Michael will head for the line. And who's going to take second place? Michael will take it. And Lucas actually an illegal overtake, unfortunately, and he will drop to P4. Danny MG in P4. What a sensational result for Danny MG. That's his best result of the season. Right at the death. Oh, it's a puncher for Lucas. Right at the death. But I think he'd already crossed the line when it started. So in the end, Jarno finishing by 7 seconds from Michael, with Roy in third. Lucas, that was a be or end all, but I guess it doesn't matter so much being at the last race of the season. So Jarno takes his third race victory of the season. And I just got disconnected. Oh no, that is not good. I've never seen that error code before, I have to be honest with you. Well, your top 10 when they went over the line was Jarno, Michael. I'm going to try and rejoin if I can. To at least get the results, but I may be too late for that, unfortunately. So apologies for game technical issues. So your top 10, as far as I could tell before the results screen, was Jarno, Michael in second, Williams Jim Roy in third, Danny MG in fourth, Ollie D in fifth, Synthetic in sixth, Big C in seventh, Curly in eighth, Lucas finishing ninth in the end after penalties, and Alex picking up the final championship point, but at least having the glory of that pole position, of course. And unfortunately, I can't rejoin the session. The lobby crashed completely. Well, it was a thrilling race to end the season. Certainly was that. And I just want to thank all the viewers who have watched every race this season. Ali Kid for being my commentary partner this season. So good working with you. AOR admins. And of course to all the drivers in this tier who have given us an absolute thriller of a season in this particular tier 1 of PS4. That's going to be it for me, but we will be back for the next season of this tier in a few weeks time. Thanks for watching and see you next time on Apex Online Racing.